We are halfway through summer, and I know that we get excited about doing Christmas in July, but I just had to embrace the beauty of summer and the joy of creating with the IOD Swan mold. I'll be using lots of fun mixed media techniques with this project, so I hope you enjoy. Let's jump right in to our project. I'm going to pour the Swan mold with Illuminlight Amazing Casting Resin. This is a two-part casting resin. You mix one part A to one part B, and it is a quick set, so it sets in about 10 minutes. So I'll mix that thoroughly and then pour it into the mold and allow that to set up. We want to thank you so much for joining us here today at L&J Goods. While you're here, could you do us a big favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button? Also, be sure to click your notifications so that you can catch our next video tutorial. We go live on Mondays and Wednesdays, and those are a little bit longer sessions and a little bit chattier, but we have a wonderful time and share complete projects on Mondays and Wednesdays at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. For the base of my project, I'm using the IOD Wood Gallery Blank. This is the 12 by 16 size. To remove the adhesive label, go ahead and apply just a little bit of heat and it will peel right off. I want this piece to have so much texture. So the first thing I'm going to do is apply Pentart's Loft Spackle over the entire wood gallery blank using the IOD silicone blade. It's one of my favorite tools to use with the Pentart wall products. Allow that to dry completely. I'll be doing a really awesome stencil technique through the Decoupage Queen Gentle Damask stencil. First, I'm going to use a little sponge dauber to apply Pentart's Universal Cracking Primer. I apply that through the stencil and I'm just applying it randomly around the outside edge. You can see that as the Universal Cracking Primer dries, it has a very shiny finish. That is going to help me to identify where I applied that primer so that I can then go over it with Pentart's Cracking Plaster. When the primer has dried, use the Pentart Cracking Plaster and a palette knife to go over the areas where you had previously applied the primer. One of the ways that I think I could have better identified where the cracking primer was would be to stencil lightly in a paint color in those same areas, then apply the primer, then go back with the cracking plaster. Now I want to create the framework that will go around the swan on this panel. Use cornstarch to dust the mold. This is IOD's new CADRE mold. So I will cast some of these pieces to create an oval frame that will go around the swan. I love having the option of using both clay and resin for my mixed media pieces. It gives me a lot of flexibility when I'm developing these panels and gives me some variations in texture and how I can finish the mold pieces. To finish that oval frame, I'm using IOD's Dainty Flourishes mold so that I can finish off the sides of the frame. Since the cracking plaster is still drying, I want to create a template so that I can play around with my mold layout. I trace that onto plain brown paper, and then I have a really nice space, a template, so that I can arrange and rearrange the molds to get the correct placement for the top of my panel. So what's the story of this chair?
It was my grandmother's.
Uh-huh.
And it's a watercolor painting looking south into Concuca Lake. Into Hammondsport. That's Hammondsport right there.
Okay, yeah.
Back in the 20s.
And that's where your family is
My father was
from.
born there, yeah.
But who did this?
Her name is Florence Keeler.
Okay.
She was the sister of Walter Taylor of Taylor Wines.
Oh my gosh.
The original Walter Taylor, not Bully Hill Walter
It's so
Taylor.
beautiful. I love it. And it looks great with our seashells. I have no idea what the letters, how it's spelled. Do you?
I think I do.
Okay. L, A. That looks like a K to me.
I know, but it's not.
Okay. K. No. Really?
Yep.
Wow, look at that. They look so good.
Close.
Yeah, it looks good all together. The colors are great.
Even though.
Prep the Swan for paint by lightly scuff sanding. I mixed up just a little dab of orange paint. Yes, some swans have orange beaks and some have black beaks. My swan is going to have an orange beak. I let that paint dry, and then I'm going to do one of the simplest finishing techniques for this swan resin casting. I like to use Pentart's Umber Antiquing Glaze, and with a wet brush, I'll pick up some of that glaze and brush it over the surface of the swan casting. Then wipe away the excess with a damp paper towel or a baby wipe. We'll be blending some of the background paint onto the swan later on. Arrange the clay castings and the swan casting onto the textured board. Apply the castings to the board with Pentart's Heavy Body Gel. It is my favorite glue to use with the IOD air dry clay. Remove the excess Heavy Body Gel with a Q-tip and then set this aside to dry completely. The next day the clay has dried, so I want to apply a coat of Fusion's white paint. You can use Casement, Victorian Lace, you can use Picket Fence or Snowdrop. I just want a good overall white built-in top coat paint over my entire piece. I'm trying not to fill in heavily where the cracking plaster has already cracked because I want that texture to really show through. To create additional dimension and depth, I'm using other colors of Fusion Mineral Paint, using a wet blending technique with my brush, just very randomly applying some different shades like Cathedral Taupe or Fusion's Cashmere. You want to use a variety of tones on the background of the piece to begin to lay a foundation that is interesting to look at and has some beautiful textural details that come through just with the colors of paint that you use. In addition, I'll take a damp paper towel or baby wipe and I'll blot and smoosh and move that paint around so that I get a really beautiful mottled effect in the background. I think sometimes there is a misunderstanding that you can't get a good blended effect with a paint that has a built-in top coat. But I find that if you work quickly and if you keep a misting bottle handy, you can really create some beautiful, beautiful blended techniques for backgrounds. And keep this in mind, when you work a little more quickly, you have a more organic feel to your finished piece. It doesn't feel quite so painted on as it does blended on. So you'll notice even as I begin to apply some color to this background, you'll see me use that misting bottle. You'll see me have a paper towel or baby wipe handy, and I'm continually keeping that paint wet, blotting away excess, and really getting some gorgeous blended finishes. Here I decided to switch over to the Pentart chalkies, and I have selected one of my favorite blues. This is Country Blue. Apply this in layers of washes, allowing the paint to settle into the texture. I'm coming outside of the frame. I love this technique. It looks like the water is spilling out of the inside of that oval. Again, this is a very random application. I'm keeping my brush wet and dabbing away any excess as I go along. Next, I'm choosing two colors of Decor Paint Chalky. This is Thorn and Olive, two different shades of green. You definitely want to have the contrast of two different colors of green. But again, I am applying with a wet brush, very random application. I'm focusing most of the green around the outside and underneath the frame. I even applied a little bit of the blue and the greens to the very bottom of the swan, as if his white feathers are picking up the reflection of the blue and green of the water. Once the painted panel has dried completely, I'm going to use Pentart's Heavy Body Gel to apply the swan inside that oval frame. Of course, the swan panel needs an identification label. You can cast this in resin or you can use air dry clay. If you are using Alumilite casting resin, you always want to be sure to spray with a mold release. This is going to condition your molds and make them last longer. The reason this one mold is whitish in color is because I have neglected to use the mold release spray in it, and I've used this mold so many times to pour resin castings. But for this project, I'm going to go ahead and use the IOD air dry clay because I want to deboss the clay with IOD's Apothecary stamp set. Press the letters into the soft clay, and then I like to pop this casting right into a food dehydrator. The air circulation is going to help the mold to remain flat and minimize any cracking. The conservatory label has dried. In order to have my glazes move over the surface of the clay easily, I apply a coat of Fusion Mineral Paint with that built-in top coat. Once again, I'll be using Pentart's Umbra Antique Glaze over the entire surface of the panel. I apply it with a wet brush. I have a misting bottle handy. I have a paper towel or baby wipe handy so that I can always be removing the excess while also letting that glaze sink down into the cracking plaster. Now it's time to add just a few finishing touches. I'm using a splatter of white paint over the surface, and to add just that little bit of glitz and shimmer, a touch of Pentart's Gold or Antique Gold wax paste. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today here at L&J Goods. I hope that you enjoyed this entire tutorial, that it inspires you, and that you are excited to work with your molds, work with both resin and with IOD air dry clay. It really does give you so many wonderful possibilities.